Okay, so let's continue. Okay, we were calculating about a harmonic mean execution. So as I mentioned, 1 by m is will be converted into numerator, shifted to numerator, because we are taking a reciprocal time and performance. See here, RH is 1 divided by TA. So what is the formula we had derived for TA is 1 by m summation of 1 by Ri. So if you reciprocal this, the m which is in the denominator will appear in the numerator, whole divided by summation of 1 by Ri. Okay, so that is harmonic mean of execution. So here is one harmonic mean performance. Star means here in the last we have calculated for only one, that is one case. So star means which is a set, means subset. And now we are representing with respect to frequency. Earlier we have represented with respect to number of programs, that is in terms of m. Now we are trying to represent in terms of see here, m will disappear because 1 divided by m, I mentioned earlier, it will be frequency. So we will get a frequency. Earlier it was 1 divided by rf. Okay, 1 divided by rf. So if you take this here, we will get 1 by m. That 1 by m is frequency, so we'll get a frequency term here. Okay, so fine. So last concept is harmonic mean speed up. Okay, here one definition is important. Definition of speed up. Okay, listen, the definition of speed up is time taken to execute a task by single process whole divided by time taken to execute same task by n number of processors. So that means T1, if I say T1 as time taken to execute a task by one process whole divided by time taken to execute same task by n processors, that means Tn. That's why I mentioned S speed up means T1 whole divided by T star. So we can expect a T star definition of what is like time taken to execute a task by n number of processors. Okay, T1 whole divided by T star. How to give that equation? 1 divided by, it is same representation, F by R, and it's a summation from 1 to n. Why it is n? Because speed up never dependent on number of programs. Number of programs will be 1, means number of tasks will be 1, but only processors will change. So here we are changing it from 1 to n. Here we change to 1 to m because harmonic mean we have explained with respect to programs. Speed up we are explaining with respect to number of processors. We have to remember all these formulas. Okay, so I know it is a slight difficult, but we have to remember all the concepts. I repeat, mean performance, n homogeneous processors executing m number of programs. Okay, that is one definition. Here we have derived arithmetic mean performance, that is Ri divided by m for the summation. When we convert 1 by m, which is a number of programs reciprocal, that will shift as frequency. We will get a Ri by m is called as Ri into f. That is what? Frequency. I forgot to take m here. Summation is from I 1 to m. Harmonic mean is, okay, first let us calculate time. If we divide that, if we invert the time, we will get a harmonic mean. Okay, so how to calculate time? 1 by total number of programs. Each program, how much time it has taken. That's why we have a summation from 1 to m. Whenever you get a 1 to m summation, it is with respect to program. Whenever you get a summation 1 to n, it is with respect to processors, number of processors. See, each process how much time it has took, whole divided by number of programs. That is what? Time taken. So the time taken is reciprocal of performance. Okay, So when we convert that into harmonic mean, that is 1 divided by Ta, this formula is inverted to get this equation. Okay, so if we found out RH star, that means it is a cumulative of all the processors who are participated in calculation of harmonic mean, that is reciprocal. Here it is 1 to m, here it is 1 to m, f divided by r. Okay, so next concept is speed up. A task executed by single processor, time is t1, whole divided by same task executed by n number of processors. Okay, so here summation is from 1 to n, f1 divided by ri, fi divided by ri. Okay, fine. Okay, this is one important formula or the rule which we can expect in the examination. Explain Amdahl's law. Okay, explain Amdahl's law. Okay, so the Amdahl's law, actually we need some introductory part here before we start Amdahl's law. I will give oral explanation. I will try to give one YouTube video link so that you will understand that introductory part. Then try to watch this slide. Okay, you can pause at this stage, watch that YouTube link, you will get more idea, then come back to Amdahl's law and we can expect more confidential knowledge from this. Okay, fine. Okay, let me start that Amdahl's law. Let us assume Ri as I, that is performance of I. W means work. Okay, W means work. It is alpha. I have to write it as a notation alpha. Okay, so you substitute that with alpha 0 0 0, so last is 1 minus alpha. So assumption this itself is little different. Wherever you get direct value, it is a sequential execution. If you found it as a 1 minus something, that something will be alpha only, that is parallel execution. Okay, I mean to say, if we got a variable directly like alpha 0 1 5 5 8 something, it becomes sequential execution. 1 minus alpha means parallel execution. Okay, so w1 is here, set is full set name is w, first element is w1, so first element is called w1, that is alpha here. So wn is 1 minus alpha, last, this term is 1 minus alpha, that is last. Okay, rest all w are I, rest all w are I, that is wi, which we take it as 0. Okay, because no sequential execution or no parallel execution, they are dependent on instruction, we cannot define. Okay, so now how to define the speed up factor with respect to Amdahl's law is n whole divided by 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. How we got this direct formula? Refer that YouTube video, you will get a clear picture, and also in the next slide we will also try to derive that formula. Okay, once we finish definitions of Amdahl's law, I assure you that you will get many problems based on this. The problems video I will prepare in the next class once I finish the theoretical part, and I will share with you through the channel, YouTube channel. Okay, so here is Amdahl's law definition. N number of processors, alpha probability of serial execution, 1 minus alpha probability of parallel execution, 1 minus alpha probability of parallel execution, alpha serial execution. So as n tends to infinity, infinity divided by infinity minus 1, almost we can neglect it. Okay, So here is the alpha is a very important factor. If alpha is 0, complete Sn will become 0. If alpha is high value, so both the side we will get infinity equations like 100 divided by 99. It is almost 1. These values almost 1. But alpha value is an important factor when we will think about execution. Sorry, when we will think about the speed up factor. Okay, fine. So next we have efficiency, utilization and quality. So let big O of n is number of operations executed. So number of operations executed in t of n intervals of time. T of n intervals of time. Generally, t of n is very smaller than big O of n. See, justification for this: we will go to ATM, we will withdraw some money. Backside activity, maybe there are 10 lakh instructions or operations, but the time is what? Hardly 1 minute. In 1 minute we are doing lakhs of works. So the comparison is 1 here, 1 lakh here. So definitely we can say always number of works will be very greater than time taken to execute. But if this is a manual, then means human, time will be more than activities because it is not a machine. Okay, so next I mentioned speed factor. Time taken to execute a work by single process divided by time taken to execute same task by n number of processors. So it is t1 whole divided by t of n. Okay, so the system efficiency can be given as speed up factor whole divided by n. Speed up factor whole divided by n. See here, what I will do is I will slightly, here I will write, okay fine, I will try. See, you see it is s of n, that is what? Speed up factor whole divided by n. Just move this n here, that becomes 1 by n into s of n. 1 by n into s of n. What is the definition of s of n? T of 1 whole divided by t of n. T of 1 whole divided by t of n into 1 divided by n. That is what is called as efficiency. We have to remember these formulas because we have to calculate, we have a problems based on this concepts. So one thing is efficiency. So second thing, utilization. Utilization is reciprocal of redundancy. Reciprocal of redundancy. We cannot calculate utilization without calculating efficiency. Efficiency into redundancy is equal to utilization. Okay, efficiency into redundancy is called as utilization. Now what is formula for redundancy? Redundancy is highest number of tasks to least, that is first number of tasks. Okay, highest number of tasks to least number of tasks. Generally least number of tasks cannot be 0. If it make it as 0, n divided by 0 tends to infinity, means wrong definition. So to avoid that, we will take at least one activity. So n divided by 1 activity, ratio to whole all tasks to 1 task. So in the previous we have calculated efficiency, that is 1 divided by n, t of n in t of 1 into t of n. Now substituting that, 1 divided by n into t of 1 into t of n. So now how to calculate t of 1? T of 1 will be big O of 1. Big O of 1. There are n, this is for 1. When we substitute the resources, redundancy for n, it will become big O of n. See, it is just like 10 divided by 1 or 100 divided by 1 or 10,000 divided by 1. So it remains as 10,000 only or 100 only or 10 only. That's why we have here as redundancy formula is what? On divided by O1. That big O functions. Hence we will get On only, because we are dividing all thing by denominator 1. So we will get a numerator as it is. So numerator is what? Big O of n. Here Rn factor big O of n whole divided by efficiency is multiplied. What is efficiency? We have derived T1 whole divided by n into Tn. What is T1? T1 will be 1 because it is a minimum time. Whole here 1. It is, if I expand this, what I will get is big O of n whole divided by big O of 1 into big O of n, 1 divided by n into Tn. So when we club the equation, we will get big O of n whole divided by n into T of n. That is a formula for utilization. Okay. So last one is quality of parallelism. So the quality of parallelism definition is computation directly proportional to the speed up and efficiency. Okay. So quality of parallelism, it is directly proportional to speed up efficiency, which we can give it as speed up into efficiency whole divided by redundancy. So Sn into En, which will be cubed 3 times function of time, whole divided by n. We know already because it is the numerator in utilization. Okay, or it is in the efficiency's denominator part. Efficiency's denominator means here it is. So efficiency, and it is twice of the function of time of n. So big O of n is with respect to utilization. Big O of n. Okay, big O of utilization. Utilization is reciprocal of redundancy. So if we mention here utilization, big O of n would be in the numerator. Since we need a redundancy, utilization cannot be in the numerator. Utilization should be in the numerator. Since we are defining redundancy with respect to redundancy, that's why we'll get a big O of n in the denominator. Okay. So I repeat few points: efficiency, utilization of and quality. So efficiency, for that we need a speed up factor, time taken to execute one work whole divided by time taken to execute a task by one processor whole divided by time taken to execute same task by n processors. So efficiency is given by S of n whole divided by n. S of n formula is T of 1 whole divided by T of n. So that is what? Into 1 divided by n. That will give us efficiency. Okay, redundancy is given by all tasks whole divided by single task. So it is just like indirectly number of tasks. That is what redundancy. But utilization is redundancy into efficiency. What is the formula we have derived for efficiency is T of 1 whole divided by n into T of n. For that we have to multiply redundancy. What is the redundancy we have calculated? Big O of n whole divided by big O of 1. I mentioned big O of 1 is negligible, so we left with only big O of n. Big O of n whole divided into T of 1 whole divided by n into T of n. T of 1, big O of 1, both are neglected because they are with respect to single task. So in computer, single task is almost negligible compared to loop or instructions. Okay, see why it should be negligible is when a computer can do million instructions in 1 second, how to calculate time taken for single instruction? It is 1 divided by 10 raised to minus 5, that much millisecond, which we can neglect. That's why big O of n T of 1 is neglected. Okay, so now when we will go with respect to quality, whatever the 3 derivations we did, that we are mentioning with respect to here. Why we are considering one is it is cubical times. I mean 3 times. Again 10 to the power minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. That much we will get into the smallest part. Since it is in the numerator, we cannot neglect. Since it is in the numerator, we cannot neglect. If it was in the denominator, it was easy to neglect. Okay. So 3 times the function of time of 1 whole divided by n into t square into double the function of time, also number of instructions. Here I have given 2 links. I will give in the group also. Watch these 2 patiently before you start Amdahl's law. Okay, so I will take some problems in the next classes, so that I can students can solve the problem in the question paper which are given under Amdahl's law. It can be asked theoretically or it can be problem. Okay, thank you.